Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato and, of course, Samantha Perry will be joining us throughout the afternoon. We have an interesting day today, a mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six. Somebody slammed it yesterday for $300-something thousand, but we usually have a really nice pool when it's mandatory payout. We'll talk about it as the day goes on. We're starting the day with the torpedo wheel off the turf. We got more rain there. You could see the mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six. Yeah, we got rain again last night. We are off the turf. It is South Florida in the summer. We've been, really dodging raindrops, but not doing it too well because Mother Nature's got her own plans for us down here, Brian.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but we still have a strong pool building. Congratulations to whoever took it down yesterday with that 50-1 spearheaded it. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and it's still going to be a big pool today, and when we look forward to that, anytime you hear that word mandatory, they're going to send it in. That is race number 5. We all three of us have tickets. They're out there. They're updated. As Ronnie said, 2 races off the turf. We'll get to it, but it should be a very, very healthy pool today.
Yeah, punch mine in at ExpressBet. And see how it goes, $96. So we'll see. Go to ExpressBet, get your tickets in. First race is going to be 5.5 furlongs. They're maiden claiming fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. A couple of scratches with the 1 and the 12. Please note the 13 is going to get in and run, and Edwin Gonzalez will be the jockey. And Brian has put together an early pick 5 ticket. So let's get this show on the road and let's see what it is.
Yeah, and Ronnie, you mentioned something with the 13 drawing in, and they want to run, so I think you need to pay attention. I actually added this horse in, so it's going to be a $36 ticket. The 13 is in this early pick 5. In race number 2, the top pick there is the 6. That is Heir to the Roar in race number 3. Double singles for me, Front Traffic in race 3, and in race number 4, the 8 for me, and that is, Spirit of Victory in race number 5. This is a little problematic now. Off the turf, I think it's a lot more competitive, Ron. I'll go to the 1, Treasure King, down on the inside.
And that is the opening leg of the mandatory payout of the Rainbow Six. So all of us this morning with our tickets had to go back and rework them when we found out we were off the turf. That's the name of the game. So we'll get right into this race, and we'll start it off with the horse that you have on top, Steve Dwoskin. He's also the horse that gets in, the 13. So he's got 2 horses in this race.
And he's got 2 first-time starters as well. I like the post here. Well, not anymore. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that. With Miggy out, we're going to move to the inside. But what I do like here is, the bullet work on the Tapeta on September 14th. And I got to be perfectly honest, Ron, and kind of blunt about this. I also like the fact that I like the other horses I'm facing in here. or quote-unquote, don't like the other horses. Who's in here you're supposed to be scared of?
No one. I know maybe that. And then the rule is usually when that happens, at least I do and you do, you might want to look at the first-time starters, certainly when it comes in with a bullet leg work. But you can make a case for the number 5 horse in here, and that's Azure Lady, who I put on top for Steve. Clusera's barn is been a little cool. You have to be honest about that. But this one gets its claiming tag sliced in half, and I just thought that's going to help this horse today. The big drop, 50% drop, looks like the one that should run well in this spot.
Yeah, I kind of feel like she's the horse to beat in here. You said it, Steve has not had a strong start to the year. I just think, the year for that matter now. We're in September. But this is a lightly raced daughter of Air Force Blue. She's only run 3 times. You look at some of her main contemporaries in here. Star Performance, 0 for 11. Beautiful Astray, 0 for 9. We have kind of seen what they can do and what they can't do. At least she's got some upside, right?
Yeah, and we'll go to 11 next. Your horse that you have, Beauty Astray, 3-1 on the morning line. We'll see how this horse runs this afternoon. It's had a lot of chances, and big drop.
Huge drop, and Angel Quiros has had a very, very quietly, a very strong 2026. Very tepid morning line favorite at 3-1. You can kind of see that's the type of race this is. She's run 1 time for this barn, as Ronnie said, in a maiden special way. You can't make up a bigger drop than this. That's why I think, they'll probably bet her a little bit. Lugo with the barn, not a big sample, 3 for 9.
And the big favorite right now early in the wagering is the number 3 Starship Radiance, who's had a lot of chances. another horse that's having its claiming tag sliced in half.
Yeah, so or it's even pointless to talk about the odds, but you can't take a number like that. Hopefully you get a comfortable drift.
Yeah, I think it'll drift up for sure. Like you said, it's really sometimes not worthy to even mention it when it's so early in the wagering. I'll go into race number 2. We're going to sprint on the Tapeta today, and it's going to, well, let's talk about the race first. It's a starter optional claimer. Fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. We did have 2 scratches in here of the number 2 Gulfstream and the number 7 Hits Different. And boy, we got the early pick 4 ticket here for you. Is it a
Yeah, I'll tweet it out a little bit later. Huge scratch, as you said, with the 7 out.
And we got a replay of the one that I thought was strictly the one to be with now with the 7 out, even before, is Add to the Roar. And I believe you have a replay you want to show?
Yeah, so this is important at the start because Heir to the Roar doesn't want to be there, and you can see her break very, very slow from the rail that day. She's got a much better post today, but you're going to see her try to loop here. She runs very, very well. She's going to end up beaten. I know she was 80 cents on the dollar, but you saw the beginning. It certainly didn't help her. She wouldn't have been back there with an alert beginning. And now she's got to go, what do we got here, 6, 7 wide on the turn. She runs on. She was 1 length behind at the wire. To give her credit for firing such a big shot, it broke a 3-race winning streak. I think she can get back on the beam. What's going on here today, Ronnie? We're off the claim for Victor Barboza.
Yeah, we're going to start. We want to show you with Victor Barboza Jr. All on this 6 horse who looks certainly really tough in here. And where is that? That'll pop up in just 1 second. There it is. Go. First after the claim to Peter's sprints the past 5 years. Oh, only 50%, 63% the money, and a positive return of double your money.
Yeah.
Amazing. Huge. So just something to be aware of. I mean, we're talking about this races in here. The number 3, Foggy. Note, I think my selections were 635. I probably sent them up wrong. Oh, that's right, because the 7 was no, that's right. They're right up there. The 3 horse I thought had a big shot in here. That's Foggy Note.
Well, I think the 3, to be honest, is the horse to beat in here. Who's riding now? Paco. You got to pay attention now. If you're not in the loop, when Paco's here, anything he's on is live. They're going to bet it as well. This horse, I think, is a little as good as Heir to the Roar is. She's stepping up pretty sizably today. Yeah. Foggy Note, I don't really think he's got to worry about that all that much. She's run at this level before. She just missed against State Breds last time. She does have a lack of early speed, but the brilliance that is Paco Lopez when he gets aboard horses, he can coax things out of them that might not be there on paper. I expect her to be a lot closer early on today.
And we'd be remiss in our duty if we didn't talk about the number 5 now showing really, because it's Safi. You know, it was a big performance last time, albeit against $8,000 condition claimers.
Well, here's the other scary thing, Ron. Who trained the 7? Safi.
Yeah.
She's out, and he's going to run the 5. I think that's maybe look again.
Good point. Good point. Let's go to race number 3, mile and 1 mile and an eighth on the Tapeta. That's right, 1 mile and 1/8. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. And very interesting with the 8 furlongs. Don't run it here that much.
No, this is
9 furlongs. Excuse me, forgot a furlong.
At this level, this will be a battle of attrition. How about that?
Yeah, you know, I went with the 8 in here, and I'll tell you why. I started with me, Atomico, who faced much better.
Yeah.
Comes out of a really good race that produced the 3 of next out winners. You know, and I just thought last was too tough for this horse. And I could make a case that maybe this gelded son of cross traffic can handle the 9 furlongs.
Yeah, I mean, they're all going to get it. And some are just going to get it a little faster than others.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Boy, Jose D'Angelo couldn't get much out of this horse. And you've heard me say it time and time again, I'm not playing the Delgado barn. I know he won the stakes yesterday, and we'll show it. That's a stakes caliber horse in Philly, okay? It's a different kettle of fish here. Atomico, you know, your morning line favorite. I get it. It's a drop. I get all of it. To me, I didn't want to use both the 3 and the 8.
Right.
I just went with the 3.
Yeah, the 3 horse looks like he'll run well in there too, and that's front traffic. We'll go to race number 4 this afternoon. Flip the page. We're going to sprint on the Tapeta, so we're going from 9 furlongs all the way back to 5.5 furlongs. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, and a clean slate in here. And as Brian says in the ultimate race before the Rainbow Six, I love saying that. This is one of your singles in here, Starship Legend.
So the interesting thing is the aforementioned Steve Glaceras. He's got the 8 Spirit of Victory, and he's got the 3 Smart Jenny as well. And, Samantha likes to use both of them. I didn't want to double my ticket by using both. I went with Spirit of Victory. Edgard's here. That's got to be a big deal. I know Sonny Leone has ridden Smart Jenny, in the past, so there's nothing going on there. But here's Edgard. Sonny actually rode Spirit of Victory in the last 2 starts. I don't know. She's 1 for 14. I like her races a little bit better on, and I like her early speed a little better. I like her post, too.
I like the jockey change on the number 5 Siljam in here, and that's why I used this horse in second. I just thought this horse ran okay last time out. I think with the jumping in to grab Embassy El Jaramillo, they want this horse to maybe be a little closer to the pace, but that's guess on my part.
Well, she was okay last time. It's tough to face winners for the first time, and she had to do it last time. She had to step up and leave the maiden claiming ranks. I know she only beat 1 horse home, but she was only beaten, over 4 lengths, so it wasn't a bad effort. And you're right. You get one of the leading jocks here that probably will put a little more speed into this daughter of World of Trouble.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We have lots more to go. We all have Rainbow Six. The 3 of us, the 3 Musketeers, will show you this after a small break.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. And as we've been mentioning a lot lately, it is Rainbow Six time, so we'll see how it plays out this afternoon. Let's tell you about the race first. It was originally scheduled for the turf, now to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. It's a claiming event, and these are 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up. Scratch the 2, Make It Big. Scratch the 9, Ocala Dream. All 3 tickets. We'll start it off with Brian's.
All right. I've got, I reworked this. We bobbed, we weaved, reworked 115.20. You can see we'll spread a little bit here in race number 5. In race number 6, I've got the 3 look like it on top. That's if you're on a budget and you need to single, you could do worse than singling her at a short number. I get that. Race 7 is my best bet of the day, and that is the 10. Old Flag. We'll show you a replay. Race 8, huge favorite with Here's the Kicker, another very likely, logical single for a lot of people, but I will use Cajunette. And then I'm just spreading deep in race 9 with my long shot, Vladislav. And then in race number 10, I'm basically using everybody in there. Unfortunately, off the turf, I have the 5 Overachiever on top for Gary Lee.
Yeah, I went a little deep in that race, too.
Yeah.
And I did single that 6 that you were mentioning, but you can make a good case for the 10. But I got my long shot in that race, the 11 horse, and I thought might run well for Joe Orsino in that race, but got to come from off the pace. Well, we'll get to that race in a while. Let's show you my ticket reel now, quickly reel now. Mine is, there's mine's up there, $96. We'll just go through it quick. I'm only using 2 in race number 6, and top pick in there is the 3. Look like it. We'll have a replay of that. Race 7. I went deep. That's one of the horses. One of the races I had a little trouble. I was mentioning the 11 Karaoke is my long shot, but I did use Old Flag. In race number 8, there's my single, as you mentioned, Brian. I fell for that. But Here's the Kicker. We got a replay. 3 deep in race number 9. We had a couple of scratches in there, 1, 2, 7. And in the last, boy, it got blown up with the 8 not on there. So I used a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Did not use your 5. I might have to go back and look. So we'll see how it goes in race number 6. Now let's see what Samantha did.
Yeah, and she'll be out here with us. And she's got a 129.60. She's deeper here in race 5, and we talked about it in the office, she needed to toss one out in there, so she really is spreading here. You can see her single in race number 8 as well. Everybody's probably going down, Ron, in that spot with here's the kicker, and I totally get it. 8 odds on the morning line, and one of her main rivals scratched out, and she's a little bit tighter later on, a 3x3 late double. Samantha will be out here on the scale to kick off this card here after Ron and I are done talking about the opener. So there's a lot of excitement. Yeah, it was hit yesterday, and again, kudos to whoever took it down. But there will still be a very, very healthy, sizable pool today, right around 250-ish.
250-ish?
Wink, wink, nod, nod. 250-ish in the PM. Yeah.
That's 10-3, right?
That is 10-3.
Why don't you say 10-3?
It still sounds a little
Hey, I don't know.
classier.
You're better with numbers than I am, but
classier.
that's for a different time. Let's start it off in here. Well, let's go with your horse, Treasure King. One of the horses I absolutely use. I did not have him on top, but had to use him on my ticket.
I did change my picks after this was off the turf. Treasure King, a good post. Safi, Edgard, the Tapeta race 2 back was against a class much, much better than this. KC Chief is absolutely freaking right now. He just fly the W the other day.
Right.
So that's a very, very big race that he comes out of, and I think he's the horse to beat now.
You look at this time, ran in Kentucky Downs last time out, and I put a line through that because I don't even know where the finish line is at
Nobody
Kentucky
does.
Nobody really does. So I just thought the drop, Nolan Ramsey, he's just started his campaign as a Korean. He's been doing exceptionally well, both here up north. So I thought on the drop that was a logical one. What about Grand David? I know you got a video you want to show.
I wanted to play this horse on turf, but I want to show this video. It is a turf video, I get it, but he has 4 wins on the Tapeta, and what I wanted to do was show you how big he ran at 66-1. Ron, he won't let Awesome Bourbon by. Speaking of Fly the W, the old guy is going to run them all down. He got set up. Look at the fractions, Ron. He was on the hard chase the entire way, and he refused to let Awesome Bourbon by. He can Tapeta too. Do not lose sight of this horse. He's dangerous in here on a drop too.
Yeah, 108 and change for the 6 furlong. That's moving. So they were going to set it up perfectly for Fly the W. So an interesting race. We'll go to race number 6. It's going to be 6.5 furlongs. It's going to be on a fast main track. These are claimers for fillies, 3-year-olds, and filly mares 4 and up. Scratch the number 6 Hockey. Panthers open up October 8th. Samantha put a late pick 5 ticket together, I believe. We'll look at that real quickly. $54.
Yeah, kind of sort of a run back of what she's got going on in the Rainbow. And again, she'll be out here to talk about it. And her day is obviously hinging on the strong favorite, and that is Here's the Kicker in race number 8.
Her and I both. So I went in race number 6 here with the, I had the Hockey a little further down on the ticket, but I still had the 3 look like it on top. So did you, and we have a replay we want to show.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. She's just better right now. She just won at this level, and there's not a heck of a lot going on here. But what we're going to show you is basically just another tour de force. She beat Winners 2 back, so this is her first. She beat Maidens 2 back. This is her first start against Winners. She does get a nice trip, but she makes her own trip as well with that kind of running style, and she's got a tactical edge on one of her main rivals, and that's the 1 star of Saturn. Refugiata we'll talk about in a second as well, but Safi's going to run her right back at the level. She's in for a quarter. You got to still dig into your pocket and take $25,000 out, Ron. It's easier said than done. It's not like she's at the bottom. I think this is just Safi. We talk a lot about this barn and the high percentage barn that he is. Well, one of the reasons, Ron, is that he runs horses where they belong and where they can win. And at $25,000 today, she's 7-5 on the morning line. She might well be odds on by post time because she is clearly the horse to beat.
The number 1 you mentioned, Star of Satin, it's Bobby DeBona. I just think this is a good spot. You see who's riding today, Paco Lopez, 2 high percentage guys hooking up. He looks like he rides for me, not much, but when he did, they win at 31%.
On this horse, too, by the way. Now, let's just be perfectly honest. She's not the same horse she was. I think we can all agree with that. But the thing I want to focus on is the last time Paco rode her in March, look at the speed he got out of her. She doesn't have any speed anymore. I think Paco will keep her a lot closer today.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the 5, we both had some mentions of Refugiata. And this one, just a drop, makes it look so
Two things. The drop, also, though, back to the main track. I know she won. Her only win is on the main track. It's the only time she's ever been on it. I get it was painfully slow, but this is Victor Barboza back on a surface switch, and she's a better horse now. Don't ignore her.
Well, we're going to go to race number 7 this afternoon. This is 1 mile, 70 yards on the Tapeta. And this is claimers, and these are 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. Scratch the 1, the number 8, and the number 13. You also eligible. So you got your best bet in here with Old Flag. We have a replay, so show it to us and understand why you got this horse singled.
Well, there's a couple things going on. She has a nightmare trip. She's trying to come up on the inside here, and that's just not going to happen. And you're going to see what happens is under Edwin, and there's really, nothing he can do here. But now she's loaded here, trying to go through. He can't really do it. And then he's got to sift all the way to the outside. We know those patter pop colors. And now he's going to go. What's he going to end up going here now, Ronnie? Way out there. And she's even got Ronnie had to correct her a little bit there. It's just not happening for her.
Right.
Now, that was a quarter. We're back off this little bit of a freshening for 8,000. It's Fernando Abreu's been off to such a hot start here at the Sunshine Meet. It's patter pop. This horse, Ronnie, is dropping today to get a win. If you want to claim him, you go right ahead and do so. He's going to be a big favorite in here, and I just think he's going to pick up a W over a group he's better than. My
little bit of a long shot today is a horse I'm glad you used in second, and that is Karaoke. And I just thought this horse's last performance was just really good. It was a tough post. And, ran very well, just got beat 3/4 of a length. So I was, of course I agree with everything you said with Old Flag. Looking for a little bit of a price. Found a stat with Joe Orsino, and I wanted to show you with number 11, Karaoke here. Layoff of 61 to 180 days. Really small sampling. 25%, 50% the money. I like the return of investment. So as I was trying to get a price, and if you saw my ticket, not only did I use your horse, I used the 10, I also used the horse outside of Karaoke, the 12, who I thought might run well.
Yeah, I don't disagree really with anything you said. Another bad post for Karaoke, but he negotiated it last time. My only... if I nitpick a little bit, this is a pretty good group for 8, Ron. We're getting droppers. We're getting the favorite coming from a quarter. He's going to have to run hard. He did really pick up his game, though, in his last start.
Well, we're going to talk about race number 8, 6.5 furlongs on a fast track. These are maidens and fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 3-horse in here. And Samantha and I think a lot of other people today are going to be seeing if this one can kick us to the winner's circle. Here's the kicker. And you got a replay you want to show of this horse.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away from her. She ran really big last time. Stormy Matoli for Safi, the other Safi, won the race. Here's the kicker. Now, you have to remember a couple things here. Here's the kicker is owned by My Racehorse. So, unfortunately, because we're gambling here, this is a gambling sport, you're always going to take the worst of it because they're going to send it in on her, and she's odds on the morning line. She should be a heavy favorite in here. The problem is the price you're going to get at the window is not indicative maybe of her winning chances today. So, we'll see what we get in here. She's the horse to beat, especially now with the scratch of the 3, Tap Manuka, who I liked in this spot as a newcomer. Here's the kicker. Boy, Ron, she's 4 to 5 on the morning line. She could be about 1 or 2 to 5 now by post time.
I singled there, but I also like the horse, that you have in second, and that's Cajun Ed, and I thought this horse ran, pretty good for Mike Yates, excuse me. And you look in the first race, ran into that repeat winner, Our Disaster, comes back, tries to beat it, runs okay, going back to the dirt this afternoon. Respect the barn, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm using this horse. I don't fully believe in the favorite. In this horse, she was actually my best bet on debut. She caught a nice one from Safi, Our Disaster, but that was in the mud. She's going to get dry land out there today. She's drawn outside a favorite. I don't really fully trust, and she'll be a much better price. And as we've talked about, as Ronnie mentioned, as I've mentioned, a lot of people going down with the Here's the Kicker ship today. If you can get her out of the number, things are going to blow up a little bit.
And you got, Mike Yates has got 2 in here. He's also got Lady Rosette. So, in Lady Rosette, this horse 12-5 last time out, taking a big jump up. What's the reason put the horse in here?
I think she's in good form, to be perfectly honest with you. And Mike catches kind of a light group in here. So now she's going to run on a fast track for the first time as well. Hey, she can get a piece.
Race number 9 is a 6 furlong event, and once again on the fast lane track starter optional claimers, and these are 3-year-olds and up. And we did have 2 scratches in this race, so we're dealing with a field of 5. Power Humor number 3 is out, and also scratch 6, Lightning Tones. And I think Vladislav is your long shot here.
You know what? I didn't have either of the scratches, but they take some starch out of the race. So I don't know what we're going to get on Vladislav. But you know, when you and I talked about this yesterday, when King Cab is in a race, you know what's happening. They're going to fly. Your horse Zydeco is going to fly. Vladislav, 31 times old Vladislav's met the starter. One of them have been on the dirt. And now Oscar Gonzalez, who's doing everything right now for probably the past 3 to 4 months, going to try this horse on the dirt. He might get way run off his feet. I get it, but they are going to fly early. King Cab now is off the claim. I don't know if we can fully trust him or not. Zydeco down on the inside. The pace here is going to be wild. I don't know. Maybe Vladislav runs him down.
Well, let's show that replay of Zydeco.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Huge
Maybe this
run.
will help some people out to make the decision to go with Vladislav or Zydeco.
Huge run, Ronnie. He's taken over now by Victor Barboza last time. He's 3 lengths clear in the stretch. Look at the fractions. He opened up. He bottomed everybody out. And he just couldn't hold off Safi in C2 with Practically Dark, who nails him. Oh my goodness, he probably still thinks he won. What a brutal defeat. 2 things going on. Can you come back from that effort, or does he move forward? Because it's second off a layoff, second time in Victor's barn. This post is a problem with King Cab to his outside.
Yeah, you think that nobody's going to single in here, right? You got to sort of go.
I think it's a spread race. Yeah.
Now the last race today, it was originally a mile on the turf, mile 7 yards, and you know. We always tell you about how great it is, and it really is. When races come off the turf and move to the Tapeta, we really don't lose a lot of horses. Today, in race number 10, we had to burn the midnight oil after a couple of big scratches in there of the 4, 8, 9. It's going to be that mile 70 yards maiden claimers. And I just thought Super Sailor, who's not going to run, was going to be the big favorite in there. Jockey change on the 10 minutes, Aura Montero on the bottom horse. I had to change everything, to be perfectly honest.
Right with you.
Yep. So
I didn't change everything. I left my picks on top, but I added a ton of horses.
Yeah,
the only horse I don't have actually is the 10. So I'm hoping like heck to be alive in race 10. I don't know, overachiever Gary Lee. He's 3 for 19 on the year. He comes out and says, "I want to get a jockey here." We got Sammy Camacho, who blew up the board yesterday and blew up the rainbow yesterday. He's a very, very high percentage jockey that's going to put a horse in a good spot. And everybody I've seen that's run in the afternoon, I don't really trust, and I don't know, we should be a good square price too.
Definitely. I did go with the number 6. I did go back and look at your 5. I didn't use that one on my Rainbow 6. The number 6, Always True, is from Jeremiah O'Dwyer, or as we call him, Jerry O'Dwyer. Really a good trainer here. Doesn't start a lot of horses, does an excellent job. And he's got MCL Jaramillo in the saddle once again. Was second last time out to J Squared in its debut. So I found the stat, and this is on either surface. This one was the turf, but it goes good for either surface. Second career starts and roots over the past 5 years. He's 6 for 35, a solid 17%, over 50% in the money. He's got a positive return of investment. So this guy flies under the wire a little bit. I think this horse is going to run well this afternoon. And with the scratch of the 8 and out of the race, I think it's wide open. We both went deep in our tickets.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If they don't bet the 7 Formulate, I'm pretty sure they will bet the 7 Formulate very, very hard. Then the races clearly goes through the 6. We have to talk about Formulate. It's Rohan. I think this horse, Ronnie, clearly is going to move way up. He's not on the turf. Rohan, as good as he is 1 for 17 first turf. Well, we're not doing that today. We're doing Tapeta now. He's got a bullet drill on the Tapeta in July. I will caution people, though, Rohan always works them crazy fast in the morning.
He absolutely does. But, you got to give him a second look. Even the numbers we throw out, these numbers, these guys, we never say 0. So there's chances for them to win.
He's got a huge chance.
That's how we see the 10 races, and I hope that helps you out with your Rainbow 6 ticket today. Once again, mandatory payout, races 5 to 10. But we want to do our lightning round, and it's a really good lightning round because we can go back and revisit what happened yesterday.
Yeah, we joked about it, but it's not a joke. We had a championship meet kind of dry run yesterday because this is what you get every Saturday during the championship.
Without
you
a
get
doubt.
Stakes-laden cards. We ran 4 of them yesterday, highlighted by the Princess Rooney and Soul of an Angel. Got set up and she took advantage of it here, just coming from the back. Hey, Beth Stream ran her race, and she ran a winning race.
Right.
She just met a classier mare.
And they went pretty quick early on,
Boy,
like
look
you
at the
said.
second quarter.
Yeah, look at the second quarter. They just were flying, and this one comes up and gets it. And then, that, of course, that's a win, and you're in to the Breeders' Cup, and we'll see how that happens. But like you said, Beth Stream ran okay.
She ran her race. She beat everybody here, and that's what she always does. She just found a horse a little bit classier.
Yeah, what else we're going to show you? Crazy Frazee
Yeah.
right now.
This is the old kind of meltdown, and to his credit, off that 2-turn win at Monmouth for Delgado and Leah Farm, took advantage of the meltdown. Rafid, the maiden, boy, did he run well again for Antonio Sano. He's got a win in a race for him coming up pretty soon. The race completely melted down. The two horses that were 1-2 at the line were Nowheresville early on in the race, and at that mile, they took advantage of a lot. We mentioned it. Yeah. Our pick just couldn't handle it. Karen Basso couldn't see it out. That's what happens a lot of times when you get that type of race.
Yeah, you've seen him turn for home. He trying a distance ground for the first time, and you could see at the top of the stretch that his day was tutti fanutti, as they say. So, what else we got?
Well, Reef Runner got the win in the Humphrey, and that was a good to see. Off the turf Humphrey, he took advantage of it there, hoping this is another race. We said it, Ron. This is how it was going to happen. It was going to fall apart in the lane, because when you have high limit room and hope in him, that's what happens. And the three horses, again, much like the Aventura, nowhere early, under the wire late.
And we also have our buddy Charlie Swish.
I don't know about the buddy. Buddy to one person or someone. I know that, because this was a sweeper here in the Rainbow. The Powder Break was a fascinating race on the Tapeta. It was wide open. And Charlie's Wish, your top pick, had never run on it. Well, she can handle that too. She can handle anything.
No, I was so waiting to bet this horse on the turf today. I was talking about it all day. I didn't know what to expect, to be perfectly honest, but your tour de force was very good. So now we'll get to our best bet of the afternoon, your best bet of the afternoon.
I'm in the Rainbow. I'm in that Tapeta route in race number 7, and that is Old Flag.
We'll show you my best bet of the day, and it comes in race number 8, and here's the kicker, which is, I'm not telling you much. I just, I wanted a single there, that's what it was. Now, you're a long shot?
Yeah, we'll see about the price with 2 scratches in race number 9, but it is Vladislav trying the main track again.
Yeah, I'm trying to buck the trend of horses coming way off the pace with Karaoke. We'll see if we can do it. Good stat on the connection, so see if we can do it. That's how we see the early card, and we'll be back throughout the day and give you some useful insight. Samantha will be with us throughout the afternoon, and good luck, and need I say, mandatory payout again, races 5 through 10.